Welcome to YouTube time with Madison Christine. I was just drinking my freaking amazing green drink, immune drink, and I got inspired to share with you guys some more. I did a YouTube a few days ago introducing myself, the core way in which I work. My title was Liberating Yourself from Victimhood and Trauma. And I'm a therapist, and I really like to term myself a guide in the emotional wild. And I come from the deep waters of healing, the raging waters, all of the shadow, all of the dark and traumas. So I'm speaking from a very deep experience, which is shares the integrity of the energy from which comes through and what I share. So I feel like that's really important in this world where there's been a lot of power abuse and misinformation, and this comes from the core. And speaking of that, the way I roll with these things is that I don't plan or have any strategy around what I say. I really trust what comes through as a pure channel. And I am a musician too, and it's very, like when I go to the keyboard, it's a treat for me too to see what is coming through at this time. So I really value that gift and energy that I can bring to you, and hope it supports you deeply. So one thing coming through is just the importance of feeling our feelings. And to add to that, so I'm in New Mexico, and there have been raging fires, okay? It's been smoky and a little bit rough to survive some of those peaks when the winds come through. And I know they've been the fires have gone into Colorado, they were in Arizona, now California fires. And why do I share that? Mother Earth is talking. She is raging. She is asking to be heard. And I value so deeply the messages from Mother Earth and how they connect to us, because we're all connected. And it just poses a beautiful question, I feel, around how is this reflecting our world, and how is it reflecting you in your life, and how can we attend to those places in our own being where perhaps the smoke is starting to come up and we're getting body symptoms and there's a fire alarm, and we get a lot of help by attending to ourselves. The feminine, you guys, the feminine energy. I'm not just saying a woman, male, female. We're working on balancing our masculine and feminine energies. The feminine energy is the solution to paying attention to in order to heal what's going on this planet. I really feel strongly about that. We have structures that are obviously in corporations and all these things that are not working anymore. They're being exposed, you guys. It's that shadow of masculine is that domination, that not paying attention to feelings. People dead inside already, just going to work 9 to 5, and their souls are screaming, right? So how can we pay attention back to the feminine, to how we feel? And what does the feminine represent? Feeling, connection, embrace, giving, receiving, loving so deeply. I mean, powerful energy, right? That's the mother, the energy of that deep love in its positive light, right? So feelings. Imagine we get so in touch with our feelings, which is an act of self-love. It's an act of beautiful attentiveness that allows us to be able to see through these structures and to see what is abuse and what isn't. What feels good and what doesn't. You guys, when we get in touch with our feelings, we get in touch with our power, our true power. And do you realize how magnificent you are, how extraordinary you are? It's beyond. These, as I hit my hat, that's so funny. As we come into alignment in the mental, physical, spiritual, emotional world, you guys, the power of that alignment is absolutely extraordinary. And the intelligence in you, in us, that we can tap, the emotional intelligence and the intelligence of our bodies, is beyond. It is quantum, right? So getting in touch with feeling means getting in touch with our navigation system, means getting in touch with our true power. And this is not about competition. This is not about manipulation. That's the shadow going on out there. When I look out, you guys, into my yard, I point that way because there's these beautiful hills back there, and I have these roses and these flowers, and I see birds in the morning when I go out there, and I think, oh my gosh, the bird's not trying to be the rose. The rose is not trying to be the tree. They're just this powerful nectar and essence of who they are, connected deep into the soil, into the sun and the earth, and trusting and unfolding, right? Imagine if you can access that in your own system, your own experience. And that, of course, like when we talk about coming from trauma, of course there's rungs of healing to come into that, depending on the safety and all of that. So let's just get back to the feeling, how powerful that is. I mean, you guys, years ago, being that pastor's kid and going from that trauma, I did not know what I felt. I was just the sweet angel. And let me tell you what, there was major unconscious rage in there and pain. And as anyone, male, female, coming from trauma, you have rage for a really good damn reason, right? We got to get out of judging feelings, right? We got to get out of that. Rage is a part of being on this planet, just all the abuse that we witness. It's just the more, you guys, we can get into an awareness and a non-judgment. And I know that's a process too. This is definitely a commitment as well, a very deep commitment. I heard a really good thing yesterday on YouTube. This man was talking, and he was talking about one of the most important questions is, are you interested or are you committed in your liberation? Right? Those are two very different things. So let's talk about, speaking of commitment, let's talk about feeling. So I'm going to say a word, and this is going to be a body test, okay? And see what happens to your body when I say this word. So I'm going to say the word coffee. What are you noticing in your body? So for me, for instance, I hear the word coffee and I am like, yes, like my whole body's excited. One of my favorite times of the day is in the morning with my coffee. And it's never, ever gone away. So I get excited and my body opens up. If you're someone who doesn't like coffee at all, or is a tea drinker, or just that stuff doesn't interest you, you're just like, ugh, yuck, you might be pushing it away, maybe you got tight. This is a way to start contacting your body and to understand your intuition and then your feeling. Let's say another example. Let's say a phone call comes through your phone. And let's say it's a friend or maybe whatever it is, and your body is just averse, like, and you're just stressing out. That's a signal, right? That's a really clear signal that that's not something you're interested in, right? Your body's talking. So what's the best thing to apply to that? Number one, non-judgment, right? Let's say it's a friend. Does it mean that you hate your friend? No. It doesn't have to mean you hate your friend, or that doesn't mean you're a bad person, that you have a negative feeling. I think that's even a better way to put it. That's more clear. No. Your body has likes and dislikes, and that's okay, right? There's nothing wrong on you. There's a reason for that, and it's so important that we pay attention to our bodies, to ourselves, because what happens, and cells, right? What happens is when we ignore those feelings, that creates a dissonance in our body, and that's how these illnesses form. And Gabor Mate speaks, beautifully and so coherently and exquisitely about these things and the facts around people pleasing, which is such an epidemic, because that's what this is really often about, and how that creates illnesses in us. So getting in touch with that, you guys, is so important, and taking away judgment. And that will definitely start liberating you right there, that example. So just number one, awareness. Become aware of your body and situations. Maybe your job. Maybe weekend rolls around, and Monday rolls around and you are just stressing out, that's a huge signal, right? So as we commit, do it inch by inch. We don't need to do these big leaps unless you feel ready for it, because you got to build self-worth in there, right? And self-confidence. So just being aware of that, whoa, I don't want to talk to this friend. There's something about this friend that isn't working for me. Or I don't like this job. Hey, you're paying attention. It's like a parent to a child. I hear you. Okay, I'm paying attention to that. Already a new awareness has kicked in. And an opportunity to set boundaries kicks in. And you feel more of your power and confidence. And I promise you, as you continue this, it just gets more and more exciting, you guys. The rewards are so powerful. So I'm going to just keep it at that on feelings. And I would love further podcasts on that, or whatever is being inspired or asked for. So again, my name is Madison Christine. I will leave my email on the description if you want to get in touch with me, if you're interested in sessions or just more podcasts, or want to connect in a real way. This is realness, you guys. This is fucking realness. And in realness, we also get to create amazing freaking magnificence through paying attention. So please pay attention and give yourself that worth and that value, because it will just keep growing like watering your flowers. And it's just such a powerful thing on our planet. Our planet needs you to love yourself. Please, please, please. And just start where you can start that feels real to you, right? And connects. So thank you so much. Such an honor always. And I look forward to continuing this. You take care.